Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for the foolishness that just went down on Thank God It's Over, Part 4 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9. Technically episode 24. Now, the episode starts off where it left off, thankfully. We didn't have to go and play around with any mess. It starts off with Kandi being like, excuse, what? What? So now this is the rundown of what actually happened. Porsha was sent a cease and desist order last night, as far as the reunion's taping, the night before the reunion, because Kandi's not dumb. She's like, I don't want this woman trying to go and besmirch my name any more than she already has, so let me go and stop her, put the brakes on, put the on her, as Nia would say, and now she can't talk. So she wants to go and deflect and put it on the person who told her, which is Phaedra. And the reason why I was like, oh, I'm not surprised, but it's worse than what I initially thought, because here's the thing. Phaedra didn't just say, oh yeah, I heard it from someone. No. Phaedra told Porsha that she heard it from Kandi. And now people are saying Phaedra actually heard the information from Carlos King, and that's part of the falling out in general. But as far as Porsha was concerned, Phaedra heard this information directly from Kandi at some point when they were still good or whatever. I don't know if it was in an overall joking manner. What I do know is Porsha asked Phaedra 3 times, was she sure that Kandi and Todd said this, or that Kandi said this and Todd backed her up. However, it however it supposedly happened. Phaedra said yes. Phaedra said yes. Phaedra said yes. Phaedra said yes. And this was 3 different, time periods. And that's why Porsha said, okay. And so then that's what made it even worse. Because remember in Hawaii, when Kandi was pleading to Phaedra, like, we aren't cool anymore, but we used to be friends. So why can't you back me up on this and say that, what? I would never do something as horrible as that, even insinuate something as, I'm not about that, that type of, no, I'm not for that. And we saw how Phaedra's just like, I was wondering, what's wrong with Phaedra? Why isn't she piping up? And she's just looking like a fish out of water, like, oh my god, this is really happening. And now we know why, because Phaedra convinced Porsha of this. Now, obviously, I know this is almost 3 minutes in, I wanted to just get that prior context. Obviously, Porsha still opened her mouth and regurgitated this. Did Porsha say, oh, yes, you did do this? No, because she can't, because she heard it from someone else. So she can't go and say this. Porsha did say that, oh, I heard. Again, Porsha was also wrong. Porsha was also wrong because this is about rape. This is drugging and raping someone. This isn't just oh, I heard you say that that you could go and have sex with me if you wanted to. It's not something regular like that, because they already had that prior conversation of that possibly happening. So that's one thing. But saying, I'm going to take full advantage of you, incapacitate you, and then take full advantage of you, that's a whole nother thing. So Porsha is not about to go and get away with this scot-free. Absolutely not. Because this whole situation was deplorable. So now everyone's running their respective quarters. Porsha runs off because Phaedra's trying to hug her, but Phaedra isn't owning up to the fact that she said this. And we know at this point that Phaedra said this. We know at this point Phaedra's trying to go and say, well, I didn't exactly say that. Kandi said it, and we're looking at you like, Phaedra, come on. Now, I agree with Kenya when Kenya, again, said that they both are wrong regardless. But the fact that Phaedra is trying to put it off on Porsha, like, no, well, maybe you heard it wrong. Maybe you interpreted it incorrectly. How do I go and interpret that you said that Kandi told you that she said that? Which was odd, because why would Kandi, if Kandi and you are having a fallout, why would Kandi tell you something like that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So if you really dug deep into it, again, which is why Porsha was trying to figure out that didn't make sense for her to go and lie about it. So now Porsha goes and runs off. Kandi is furious, as she should be. Sheree's drinking like, these bees are some other ish. These bees are on some other ish, and I don't have time for it. Cynthia's disgusted. Like, it's never gotten this low. Never gotten this low. Porsha wants to go and run off and talk to her sister. She wants her sister. Shamia's trying to go and tell her, look, Porsha, I told you that Phaedra was a snake in the grass. Phaedra was a fake. Yeah, Phaedra was fake and phony and a snake in the grass. But you didn't want to listen. So Porsha said, I need you in this moment to just be here with me. No, if you can just shush. And just be here with me in this moment. That's all I need from you. I don't need for you to tell me that you were right and I was wrong. That's why I don't need from you. And I said, well, you need someone to tell you that because you're living in La La Land right now. You're living in La La Land right now. So here comes Lauren. And of course, you know, Lauren hugs her, trying to figure out what's going on. Lauren was just like, I was in the cut. I didn't have any scenes really with you, so just in case we did, possibly could have been ready, but I wasn't ready to get on camera. Like, what's going on here? Well, it's Phaedra. It's the whole thing of, now it finally came out that Phaedra was the one who told me about Candy trying to drug and rape, Candy and Todd trying to drug and rape me. The whole time, Phaedra, I guess, she possibly could have been in the other room, because Phaedra had the look of, I'm overhearing what everyone's saying, I'm just getting my hair redone, I'm just trying to stay out of the mess that I partially created. Now, Porsha goes and says what she needs to say to Lauren, and how bad she feels because the fact that Phaedra said this with conviction. Like, I would have never even said this if someone who was close to Candy is coming back and saying this to me. And so I'm not accusing Candy. I'm saying, well, I heard this from a source. Now remember, Porsha's trying to say that she was hearing all this stuff from the streets. We'll get into who the streets really were for Porsha. So just like what everyone was saying, that Porsha was dim-witted as usual and was being used. And that's what happened to a certain degree. Again, her believing it and regurgitating it is a whole nother issue. And that's some BS within itself. That's some BS within itself, and we're going to get to that. But Andy comes in and says, okay, so how you feeling? What's going on? Like, why would Phaedra go and throw you under the bus and not try to help you? Why would you kind of believe that? What's going on? She said, you know what? I feel betrayed by Phaedra, and I feel so bad for Candy and Todd. Now I feel so bad for Candy and Todd because now I know 100% that it's not true. Kenya's on her phone like, see, I told them they were crooked. I told them they were trash. She's talking to Brandon like, they both trash. How are they gonna go and do all this mess? Phaedra, we already knew that she was a liar, and I'm glad it's finally coming out. Porsha, we already knew she was dim-witted, and the fact that she would go and regurgitate this. In another room, bathroom, we have Cynthia, Sheree, the camera crew. Andy comes in. Candy's there because Candy's trying to figure out, so Andy, how did you feel about that? Feel about what? Hello? About them going saying that I drug and raped when, first of all, I don't do drugs, I don't drink. I'm not about that life, period. So for me even be able to set up a situation like that and want to, for me to want, I have businesses that are thriving and successful. I have an image that I work hard to maintain. So for them to go and say that, he's like, I'm shocked. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The truth is finally revealed. And one of the worst parts is Phaedra was really going to let Porsha take the hit on this. Take the hit on the chin. But dang, I didn't realize I had so much to say. I thought I was going to talk for maybe 10 minutes, but okay, guess not. Because now we have to talk about the fact that Phaedra goes and tries to talk to Porsha and says, no, friend, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what? You were going to go and let me really believe that your ex-friend was going to try and drug and rape me. You were sitting there like, you wanted me to be boo fool. I have all my makeups on because that's all ran off. And I'm just so hurt with you. I'm so hurt because you told me multiple times that no, this did happen. And that you heard it from Candy. You didn't hear this from a third party. You were saying how you heard this from Candy. So I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't want to speak to you right now. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, how this is going to move. So now everything is reset. They're back in place. And now all eyes are on Phaedra. Or as Kenya would say, Shadra. And I'm so glad we finally got to the meat potato. I honestly feel like we could have done 2 parts of this reunion because aside from maybe the Bob and Sheree thing and a couple other things, a lot of this stuff wasn't necessary. If it didn't happen, I wouldn't have cared. But this right here, we're finally getting to the mess. And it covers a lot of other stuff as well. So now Shamia's gone because we don't need any type of further distraction. Shamia did her job, and thank you for being there. Shamia helped aid this stuff come out, so Shamia gets an A+ for this reunion. But now we need to talk about what just happened. The disgusting truth, and I'm glad that they brought back Todd as well, because Todd was collateral damage in this as well. Here's the thing. Phaedra's trying to say, oh, here's the thing, I heard this, and so I told it to Porsha. Wait a minute. So you heard this when you told me that you heard it from Candy, but now you're saying you heard it from a third party? Oh, okay, continue. And this is where we also find out, because Phaedra's trying to apologize to Porsha and say, well, you know, maybe you heard it. Maybe I heard it. How could I heard it? How could I have heard it incorrectly 3 times? Maybe once, maybe twice, but the third time, which was 2 days before this reunion? Because I wanted to make sure, because I'm trying to figure out how in Hawaii Candy's so hurt, and going to you and saying, wait a minute, you know my character, but you're the one who told me. And now people are like, Phaedra, you really, how come you couldn't clean this up in Hawaii? How come you couldn't just take it, Cynthia said, why couldn't you just take a hit in the chin and say, I don't like that phrase, that sounds like some domestic violence mess. How come you couldn't just be honest and tell us, here's what I heard, I told it to Porsha, she went and told it to, said it to Candy. I didn't think that she was actually going to say it. I'm sorry. But did anyone else catch the fact that Porsha was saying, you know, I'm here on TV, you know, acting my butt off, which other people did say as well. Because I said, Porsha is acting like she knew this information before regarding the whole Shamia and Candy thing, and that Phaedra was insinuating that Shamia and Candy slept with each other. So Porsha obviously did lie when she said, oh yeah, I never heard, no, I never heard that. Yeah, she never heard that before from anyone except for Phaedra. That's what she should have said, so that we could have gotten the ball rolling sooner. But Porsha was being more of a friend to Phaedra than Phaedra has ever been to Porsha. Phaedra actually had Porsha looking dumber than a lot of people already say that she looks. And I'm looking at Phaedra like, Porsha, like I said, regardless of what happened, because Porsha apologizes to Candy. Well, first she's saying, I don't feel like I got what I needed from Phaedra and just the truth and the honesty, because Phaedra was also the one who told me the Marvin story. So I said, wait a minute, what? But Porsha said, the streets, you know, I did hear from gossip columns of people come back and saying to me that, oh, that Todd was kind of doing some stuff out in New York. But she said the Marvin portion was Phaedra as well. I said, oh my God, Phaedra, what is going? This isn't even just gossip and rumors. This isn't shade. These are pure lies. Like what? So we just jumped ship a couple of seasons ago and we said we're not gonna look back. We're not gonna look back. Are you kidding me? For that to happen, for you to still try to make it seem like, oh, well, she misinterpreted, oh, well, that's not what I said, that's not what I said. I'm glad Todd said, I'm the only husband left. This show has single-handedly been the main reason why a lot of these marriages didn't work. Yes, they already had their issues, but other people interjecting and insinuating all the husbands were cheating and acting a fool and making their wives feel like they have to pick a side. And it's hard. It's hard to deal with all of you to deal with this mess. And I just feel like you going and saying that stuff and regurgitating that stuff, obviously, Porsha, you have some fault in this as well, regurgitating this stuff, because you didn't help out Cynthia's marriage, you weren't helping out Candy and I's marriage. So it's like, okay, I have to accept that. Porsha did apologize to Candy. I'm glad that Candy's just like, look, I don't know, I'm just going to have to pray on it because this was some mess. So at the revival, not the revival, at the restoration service, this means that while all of this was going on, at the restoration service, you couldn't just go and be truthful, Phaedra? You couldn't? No, what? I was wondering why Porsha was acting so weird this season. It was because she was really trying to go and hide this information. Trying to go and hide the source. Trying to go and protect the source. And it's disgusting. This whole situation is disgusting. The fact that Phaedra really was like, you know, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what to do, because it happened. It was just happening so fast. And I felt like, you know what, I'm just going to let it play out, because there's nothing else I can do. Well, yes, there is. You could have told the truth. Porsha, the fact that you even said all of that to begin was just like, that's why you have fault in this as well. But, yes, you lead yourself down a bad path. We got it. But a good friend would have been like, hold up. I'm the one who told her that. And I don't know why she even took that seriously. And da-da-da-da. But at least something. That's where you interject. Porsha has her fault, obviously, in a big way. But Phaedra, you purposely said this because you know Porsha. You know Porsha was not only going to say something that she wasn't going to throw you under the bus. So you figured, let her go, say this, speak her piece, make a mess of things. And of course you did it partially because you were upset and that you were hurt. You were trying to lie and say, oh no, you still feel a certain way about how Candy played you or played the situation. Because now the rest of the reunion is about Candy and Phaedra. That's where it switches to, because it talks about how Mama Joyce was going meddling, saying if Phaedra was on fire, I wouldn't spit on her. And Candy acknowledged that was messed up. But Candy, of course, feels very vindicated that finally the truth comes out. Regardless of what it was, regardless of the dumbness on Porsha's part and the malicious part on Phaedra, the truth is finally out. Absolutely, I feel vindicated. I am trying to figure out, first of all, how'd you come up with those numbers? I pay people bonuses. I make sure that people don't go and try to drag me out on the street. How is it that you go and you represent Johnny and you say he has a case and you make sure that you're there every time that he has a meeting with those other lawyers when you didn't have to do that portion? And it was because you had a problem with me? Oh no, of course it wasn't. Oh, you was a liar. So if the shoe was on the other foot and I brought in Angela, I brought in, I don't care what her name is, the woman who had that book out on you and is trying to insinuate that you were a part of the schemes that Apollo was a part of. If I brought her onto the show because she wanted to give me a book, I told her to stay away with that mess. I don't care if I'm friends with Phaedra or not. I don't want to be close to that. And then for you to do this, and I have so many things. I know so many things. I could bury you. Don't even try me, Phaedra. And of course, Phaedra got a little bit quiet, and then she's like, well, I was like, excuse me? I was like, don't worry about it. And then the whole Mr. Chocolate. I'm so glad that Candy, even with all this other stuff, she could have been like, look, see, Phaedra's doing all this mess all this season, orchestrating all this mess, and so now people still have a problem with me going and putting her business out there. But I'm glad that Candy, as a bigger person, acknowledged the fact that, yes, I was wrong. I was wrong for putting my ex-friend's information out there, because when Nene did it to Cynthia, I said, oh, she ain't ish for this. I'm not surprised. Who does that? And then I went and did that myself. So I have to acknowledge that I was wrong with that, because I'm very mature. And I'm so happy that the truth is now out, that we see the person who Phaedra is. Phaedra's trying to say, well, you weren't insinuating that I had Mr. Chocolate in your mouth. No. I said that you were, kind of seeing someone, that there was someone you were talking to. I never said that you were sleeping with someone, Phaedra. Why do you need to go and try and attack me and say that was, I said that you were sleeping with someone? No. I never said that. I said that you were seeing and talking to someone, and Phaedra was saying how, yes, there was someone who had my back and I was just talking to, and he was helping me out and he was a good dude, but that's all that was. We said, great, congratulations. 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 But Phaedra said, that was different. That wasn't a Mr. Chocolate. What Candy's saying about was, that was a different chocolate. That was a white chocolate, and she was a woman and she was my friend. I said, Phaedra, how stupid do you think we really are? That's the part that irritates me. How stupid do you think we really are? But now we get to the end, and of course everyone has their general testimonials. Cynthia, it was her birthday, so they got her a cake, and they blew out the candles, and that was that. But before that happened, Andy's just like, Candy's just like, I'm good. I understand where our situation lies. And he said, so you've been doing a lot of lying this season, flat out. You've been doing a lot of lying. I don't know why. You're not even really apologizing. You're not really apologetic. Like, why did you even feel like you needed to go and lie on someone who was your friend? Do all this stuff to her. Put your actual friend out on Front Street, not in Front Street, but out in the cold. And it's just interesting. It speaks a lot to you. It doesn't even seem like you're really owning up to it. You just keep deflecting. And as a lawyer and wanting to be provide facts and truths, you seem very unapologetic. Porsha was out here, regardless of what she was saying, because she was wrong too, absolutely. But you go and putting that in her head and then reinforcing it because you know her, know what was going to happen eventually with her regurgitating it. Like, what's going on here? What's really going on here? Porsha is saying, I don't know where we're going to go from here because it's pretty messed up. I thought I was friends with this woman, but now I have to reevaluate. Sheree said Hawaii was a healing experience for her. She's glad that everything played out the way it did on the show. Kenya wasn't a part of much mess. So shout out to Kenya for not being a part of that much mess. People think that I don't like Kenya. No, I don't like her on the show. There's a difference. People assume, yes, I don't like her on the show. It doesn't mean that I have an issue with her in real life or on a day-to-day basis. I don't have an issue with any of these ladies on day. Ooh, Phaedra. Phaedra entertains me, but Phaedra is on some other ish, and I always knew it. So I'm glad they came out. So maybe her. Maybe her. But that's essentially it. The show is over. Thank God. There's going to be a secrets revealed. But unless they're going to give us more clarity on what happened with the Porsha versus Phaedra issue, I'm not watching. And I'm definitely not reviewing it. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Jesus. I know it's going to be a lot of arguing. Go for it. Just to recap it, Phaedra, however she may entertain me, is trash for her actions. Porsha, why would you even go and... But I'm so glad you finally realized, something's not right here. Why am I taking all of the blame when it's not all on me? So I'm glad you said something. Kenya, you actually stood out. I mean, you were out of a lot of the mess, so shout out to you. I mean, for this reunion. On the show, it's a different story, but on this reunion, Sheree, I'm so happy that you're here. I am not necessarily sure if I really care about Kim coming back. I liked Kim for that moment to go, versus Kenya, but that was it. I don't know if I necessarily want her back, because Kim's on some other ish sometimes. Nene, I will be happy to see Nene. Cynthia, I'll be happy to see you, but I feel like what's the storyline for next season? But, like I said, still happy to see you. Candy, we cool beans, so, alright. When the season first started, I was like, Lord Jesus. But, slowly came back. So I said, okay, alright, okay, I'm kind of seeing where part of the issues were. So, okay, we cool. Did I already say Phaedra? Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I think I covered everyone. If I missed anyone,